Hello Tallahassee and welcome to the Friday edition of FSU Weather. Right now, we've got quite a rainy look outside at Doak. It is probably one of the coldest temperatures we have reported so far this year on FSU Weather. 48 degrees and rain. We are definitely starting to get into November now. Winds coming from the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour. So a little bit windy, a little bit rainy. These conditions not exactly ideal right now, but we're looking at current local temps around the region holding in the 40s and 50s. Seeing 48 in Calvary, 50 in Tallahassee, 47 in Valdosta, and just a little bit warmer towards the Gulf at 53 in Apalachicola. So basically, nowhere in the region is seeing 70s or 60s right now. We're seeing pretty cool conditions for the entire region. But different story out in the Atlantic where we still have a tropical storm active. Tropical season is still in effect right now, so we do have Wanda at 50 miles per hour. And we've got a cool show tonight. We have FSU at NC State, time change coming up on Sunday, and Spot the Rain. All of this and more coming up on this episode of FSU Weather.
Good evening, Tallahassee. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on FSU Weather for the Friday edition. We've seen a lot of rain out there, right? It's been really rainy today and really windy. It started to pick up today, isn't that right?
Yes, absolutely. Like Robert just said, spot the rain. Talk about the rain. My gosh, it's just, it
everywhere.
Doesn't stop. Yeah, it absolutely
exactly.
doesn't stop.
And we've been seeing that rain. We're not used to that rain this week. It hasn't been around for us. And something different that we're not used to being seen. Right? So.
Yes, though we do have quite a bit of rain, I would say we do have some interesting temperatures as well. As a native Floridian myself, I'm not too fond of these highs and lows being so low for me, but still, I know some people enjoy these temperatures.
Yes, they do. Right up here in the north region, I have some friends that are from way up north. They're like, this is easy, this is nothing. So this is definitely a change for us Floridians to get these cooler temperatures with that rain that's going on right now.
And now we'll pass things off to Robert.
Right, thank you guys. We are seeing a little bit of a cooler day outside. It's going to be in the 50s right now. We're seeing our high 59 degrees. So again, it is definitely below our average of 76 right now. We're seeing our low, however, right now, definitely tracking close to where we are on that average, only 1 degree below it. So right now, definitely seeing a little bit of a cooler day, not really getting up to where we're supposed to be, but the records also not getting close to those 88 degrees for our high and 30 degrees for our low right now. So again, we're looking at definitely a day where we are seeing cooler conditions than normal. So right now, our live look at the Doak Campbell Stadium is showing a lot of rain outside. Well, who would have thought? 48 degrees and rain. Wind coming from the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour. So we are definitely seeing these nippy conditions getting into the region. What you're going to experience right now is these wind chills almost taking it into the 40s, low 40s. So I know this is definitely what we haven't experienced in the past in Tallahassee. We definitely are getting into November here, so it's about time to start thinking about, okay, we're going to see these 40s. We're almost looking towards our first freeze of the season here over the next few weeks here. So definitely, whenever we get to that point, start looking at your people, your plants, your pets, and your pipes, excuse me. So make sure you have your water dripping through all those times whenever we get there. Obviously, definitely getting a little bit ahead of myself. It is only 48 degrees outside, not getting towards freezing. But yes, rain right now. Looking at right from FSU Weather. But the wind is going to be from the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour. So we're seeing these very nippy conditions, as I said earlier. And not helping is all this rain we've got coming in. The state of Florida seeing a whole lot of rain right now moving into the region. So we've got all this rain coming up to the north, and it's overspreading most of the state. The only region that's really not seeing a lot of rain is going to be the area on the eastern part, or western part of the Panhandle, excuse me. All of you guys around Pensacola, Vernon, Panama City, you guys are pretty much rain-free for the rest of the night tonight. But us over here in the Tallahassee and the rest of the eastern part of the Panhandle seeing a whole lot of rain. So again, not these beautiful conditions that we saw over the last few days, definitely starting to feel like winter now. Current local temps, definitely, as I said earlier, a little bit cooler. Seeing most 47, 49, 45, these sort of mid-40s to maybe lower 50s starting to overspread the region. Seeing like 52 in Donaldsonville, 53 in Apalachicola. So again, very, very, very cool conditions here. Also seeing very strong wind speed and direction here. 14 in Donaldsonville, 15 in Tallahassee, 9 in Quincy. So again, we're seeing these very strong winds starting to kick up into the region here, and these winds are definitely going to make it very chilly for us. So we're seeing all these winds starting to make it into the we're seeing these wind chills that are going to make it a lot colder than what we're seeing right now. So again, 14 in Donaldsonville, 7 in Thomasville, and 14 in Valdosta. So yes, 15 in Tallahassee, 9 in Perry also. So we are seeing all of these regions here in which we are seeing these conditions that are a lot colder than we were expecting. So 30s across most of the region here, 49 in Crawfordville, 49 in St. Mark's. So again, seeing these very cool conditions here, and also looking at the 7-day here, seeing very warmer conditions coming into the rest of the week. 70s here, 70, 72, and 74. So definitely as you get into those areas, you're going to experience more of the conditions that we experienced in November. But now I'm going to pass things off for our next segment.
Thank you so much. Yes, we're going to take a quicker look at the whole state of Florida right now. We're going to be seeing a whole different look for the rest of the state. Right now we're looking at Panama City Beach. We can see that cloud coverage really hanging out around over the horizon. We're seeing those clouds really insulating that temperature for us here in the state of Florida and keeping that rain flowing all throughout the day. We're seeing that water move throughout the region from the west, and we're seeing it hang around Tallahassee right here. We're seeing that rain all day long, and that wind starting to pick up with that rain. So the satellite and radar are showing us that rain is moving throughout and going to be staying around for a while. Right here in Tallahassee, we're seeing that rain move through up and come through, with that rain persisting throughout the evening and throughout the night. Same thing here right throughout Daytona Beach and through I-75. We're seeing that rain move right through and stay around the state of Florida. We're going to be seeing those wetter days here for the next 24 hours. Same thing, a little bit drier right here down in the south, but they'll still be seeing those rain conditions and lots more of it to come. Right now it's 55 degrees in Tallahassee, 57 in Jacksonville, and everywhere throughout the state is seeing those showers. So make sure you are dressing appropriately, bring your umbrellas, bring your raincoats, because it is going to be a wet evening. Now, it is raining right now, so we don't really need to worry about that muggy meter, but for giggles, we get a smiley face today here in Tallahassee, but it's not really about the dew points tonight, it's really about that rain right now. And we're seeing that rain hanging out right here over Tallahassee. But it's going to move through as that front moves through for the rest of the state, but as it stays around right here with that stationary front right now, we're just going to see those rain conditions persist. Tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be 45 degrees, 45 in Gainesville, and still all those cooler temperatures down here in the south, 58 in Miami and 56 in West Palm Beach. For the rest of the state, we're going to be seeing those tomorrow highs being at 58 in Tallahassee, 74 in Fort Myers, so the temperatures will increase a little bit. As I said, in Miami, it's going to be seeing those rain temperatures. Tampa, same thing. It's going to be a little warmer than it is here today, 63 in Orlando with that rain chance in the day. And in Jacksonville, we're going to be seeing that rain condition at 81%, 51 degrees. It will be a chilly one for sure. Now let's take a quicker look at the southeast today.
Yes, thank you so much, Hannah, for that beautiful look at Florida. Going further into the southeast, here we have pretty cool temperatures all the way around. Here in Gainesville, we have 58 degrees, Atlanta, Georgia, 51. Blacksburg, Virginia, we're looking at 44 degrees, and Bowling Green, Kentucky, 56 degrees. So you see that beautiful sunset coming in through the camera. Looking at our satellite and radar for the southeast region, we have that stationary front that we've all been talking about, that we've all been discussing, just sitting over northern Florida and parts of Georgia, South Carolina, etc. Closer look into this stationary front, you see it's bringing all that rain across northern Florida that we here in Tallahassee are experiencing a good amount. Looking at our current temperatures for the area, we have here at home a 58 degrees in Tallahassee, 77 way down in Key West, and a really warm 75 in Miami. Miami, South Florida, never really gets those cold fronts that we get up here, still always pretty warm. For the rest of the southeast, similar temperatures all around, pretty chilly, I would say. Mid-60s and upper 50s throughout the area. For our wind speed and direction, we're looking at a wind speed of 15 miles per hour here in Tallahassee. Pretty gusty, I would say. If you have a windbreaker, maybe put that on, a parka, anything like that, a rain jacket, that would be great to really just stop the rain from coming into your eyes start watering. I know the feeling. For our dew points for the southeast region, we have a 45 dew point here in Tallahassee. Not too bad, could be worse. 72 in Miami. I know, as a native as a native Floridian and being from Miami from myself, it's not too amazing. So make sure you're staying hydrated down there with those muggy dew points. For our water vapor, we have that stationary front that I've said before. This black line is exactly where that stationary front is, and there's moisture behind it, there's moisture in front of it, and further behind it lays all the the dry air that'll be coming in the next day or so. For our storm prediction center storm outlook, here we have a marginal risk in central to southern Florida, basically just high winds coming your way. And for our future radar, we have that stationary front bringing in a lot of rain all the way through. So just make sure you have your umbrella. For tonight's lows here in the southeast region, we have a 46 here in Tallahassee. And for the high, we have a 58. Now I will pass things off to Robert.
Right, thank you, Genevieve. Yes, we have the national that we're looking at, and what we're seeing for the national is that it is pretty cold everywhere. It's getting into November, as I said earlier. I know I don't like to beat it with a dead horse right now, but we are seeing pretty cool conditions for most of the region. But Florida is pretty unique in that we have rain pretty much going over the entire state. That's because we have this low pressure system right here located very conveniently close to us, putting up all of this moisture into here and really setting up along this stationary front. So really giving us a lot of moisture. Most of the rest of the country can't say that. Pretty dry conditions. We're seeing a lot of influence of high pressure, maybe a little bit of rain close to you guys in Manitoba and North Dakota along that cold front. And then finally, we do have an occluded front up here, so that's basically a front separated from the pressure system. And we do have a cold front down here that is bringing a little bit moisture to you guys up in the Pacific Northwest. And as we're looking at the satellite, really seeing these weather systems here, a lot of cloud cover over this system over here, a little bit of cloud cover associated with that cold front, and then finally a little bit more cloud cover associated with this system off to the northwest. So overall, we've got a few systems of interest here still. Even though most of the nation is quiet, we are still watching. Some rain also mixed with a little bit of snow here. We're looking around in the Vancouver, Seattle, Portland corridor, particularly in the mountains up here in British Columbia. We are seeing some of that rain becoming snow as it gets above the freezing line. So it really is getting to that part of the season where we're finally seeing snow coming to the mountains. And also, we do have some rain, just a little bit, just a tiny little dash of rain up with this low pressure system and this front. It's actually, if you want to spot the front here, very easy. Seeing coming down through Minneapolis, this little line of clouds here being picked up by that lift from that front there. So very easily spotted. Also, as I said earlier, Florida really seeing a whole lot of rain here. No surprise, I'm sure most of you guys have been experiencing a lot of this rain, and it seems like for us who are in the rain, there's basically no end. All of this rain coming up towards the north, really coming through the region, so really, it's no end in sight for the next few hours, at least for us. I know I've said earlier, and all of you in the Panhandle, as you get close to Pensacola, not really having a hard time with that, but for most of us here in Tallahassee, particularly in Central Florida, a little bit of break for you guys in Southwest Florida around Fort Myers. But again, most of the populated regions of Florida seeing a whole lot of rain right now. Big picture, as I said, we're looking at cool conditions as we go off towards the east, seeing even down to 40s in Detroit, 53 in Atlanta, 50 in Tallahassee, so a little bit unseasonably cool for us here in Tallahassee. But of course, Miami, you guys are still experiencing the 70s there, and even as you get into Arizona, still seeing the 80s. I know here it feels like it's already winter in the 50s, but they're still in the 80s in Arizona. So definitely, we do have a little bit of a contrast with the nation. Only watch that we're looking outside right now, that is a red flag warning, actually. So there is a little bit of a burning situation there, I know. Again, across the nation, many different weather conditions, so please be advised that there are dry conditions for all of you in that region of Colorado. And as I said, dry, 16 is your dew point. Teens for your dew point there. Very dry conditions across the western half. Eastern half also pretty dry. As you get closer to the Gulf, around 52 in New Orleans, 47 in Tallahassee, and 73 in Miami. Miami always definitely going to be the wettest of us around here. Temperature outlook, going to see a little bit above average conditions. I actually think that we are seeing below average conditions for us in this region right down here. So I don't think this map has updated, but we are seeing below average conditions here in Tallahassee and across most of the south as we go into the weekend here, but definitely seeing these very, very, very nice conditions, at least in my opinion, for us here in Tallahassee. Drought monitor, still definitely seeing all the effect of that drought as we go into the west, but we're also seeing tomorrow's high is going to be fairly similar to our conditions here. 60s for most of the nation, 50s onto the west coast and the east coast, and maybe some 60s as you go to Los Angeles. So now I'm going to pass off to the desk.
Thank you so much, Robert. That was a really good look of what we're going to be seeing throughout the whole country. But we have something more specific to talk about here, right here in Tallahassee. What are we going to experience, Aaron?
We are going to see a time change this weekend. At 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, we actually fall back, as the saying goes. So daylight savings time will end, and we will be returning to the standard time.
That's right. So make sure you are aware of that when you wake up Sunday morning. You will be having that extra hour throughout the day. So make sure you change your clocks back to where they need to be to experience that daylight leaving us. And we're going to be seeing darker hours when it becomes towards like 5 or 6 o'clock. It's going to start getting dark, which we're not really used to for the past couple of months.
Right. I mean, we'll have sunsets in around 5:30 or so, which is certainly different compared to like 6:30 as we have right now. And of course, make sure you set those clocks back probably on Saturday night before you do go to bed.
That's right.
Just so you don't have to wake up at 2 in the morning to do that.
Yeah, so if you're still up at 2 in the morning, I guess you can change your clocks back and experience that extra hour if you're out and about. That's right. So we've been seeing this time change. We're really excited for it. Or some of us are disappointed that the summer long hours are ending. But we're going to be seeing those cooler temperatures along with that time change with the darker nights and all of that.
Certainly, and your evenings will pretty much be very, very cool now, especially after 5 o'clock, after the sunset. So certainly very, very, very cool across much of the area. At least that's how it's going to feel during the temperature.
That's right. So make sure you change your clocks back. Don't forget that that is Sunday, November 7th. You're going to be changing your clocks back to the hour. And now we're going to be taking a live look at the next segment.
That is right, and really, we're going to have to look at the tropics right now out there. We do have Wanda out there, out in the Atlantic, but certainly it is a very far away from across the United States, so certainly poses no threat to the area. So we will now get into the names. You can see we do have Wanda. We have now exhausted the list now, the traditional list for the 2021 season. So certainly we will see what happens there with possibly more storms, but for right now it looks very quiet aside from Wanda. And this is, of course, this is the name list we will be getting into for the supplemental name list. You can see the first name will be Adria if we do end up going to that, but now we're in November, so it's coming very, very unlikely, but we'll see in the coming months. And for Wanda, you can see it is out in the far Atlantic, really far away from at least a lot of land. It is approaching Europe, so perhaps some conditions might start deteriorating as we go towards maybe Ireland in the coming week or so, but of course by that point it will be transitioning into an extratropical low in meteorological terms. But certainly what should know, at least here locally in Tallahassee, certainly way far away, nothing to deal with in the area. You see it is a tropical storm. You can see winds 50 miles per hour, a pressure down to 994 millibars, and it is moving to the south-southeast. So certainly a very weird movement. But like I said, it's going to move, shoot right across to Ireland and UK. Perhaps it might bring some deteriorating conditions over there. As we get into Monday, you can see Monday, 8 o'clock Greenwich time. You can see possibly we could see a 50-mile-per-hour storm just off the coast of England and UK. Water vapor across much of the Atlantic. You can see very, very cloudy, a lot of moisture up there, but that is not associated with anything tropical. It is purely a frontal boundary that is bringing really the rain to us. So this is, of course, attached to our rainmaker down here, as we can see, down towards the Bahamas. So certainly, but nothing tropical in nature there. And sea surface temperatures, we're still very warm sea surface temperatures across much of the central Atlantic. You can see really 80s across much of the area. Maybe even a few 90s down towards the Caribbean, but there's no tropical systems to express that energy into the ocean. So certainly nothing of note there. And then water vapor, again, here's the story. You can see that low pressure over there towards Florida, which has been bringing us much of the rain across much of the area. And certainly you'll now be going away as we get into the weekend and much more.
Yes, thank you so much, Aaron, for that beautiful look at the tropics. Going a little bit more local, here we have our temperature almanac for here in Tallahassee. For today, a high of 59 degrees, a low of 50. Pretty chilly, in my opinion, thankfully. Nowhere close to that low in 1969 of 30 degrees. Clearly, we are also far from average for our highs. A live look at Doak Campbell Stadium. Here we have quite dreary skies, lots of clouds going on, rain in the forecast, definitely 48 degrees, winds coming in at 12 miles per hour. For our current radar for the Tallahassee area, sorry about that, we just have this stationary front moving through, lots of rain. You definitely need your umbrella. You definitely need your rain boots, rain jacket, anything like that. Just lots of rain. For our hour by hour for the day, started off at a really chilly 54 degrees at 6 a.m. and it just got worse. 50 degrees here at 5 p.m. You see that temperature just decrease throughout the day. Just brutal. Currently in the Tallahassee area, 50 degrees here in Tallahassee. Pretty similar temperatures all the way around. We have the upper 40s to low 50s. For our muggy meter here in Tallahassee, thankfully, we don't have too much humidity in the air. Not too bad, though in Key West, I would not want to be there. Very humid. Tonight's forecast, we have a 48 here in Tallahassee. Similar temperatures all around, just chilly, in my opinion. For our future radar, we just get more rain, more clouds going through. And I will pass that off.
Right, thank you, Genevieve. Yes, so we have looking at a system here for our beach forecast. And also finally, our week ahead, we have a very nice 7-day we're looking at here, 70 on Monday. Definitely going to be a nice difference from what we had today, seeing 70s throughout the week here as we get into Thursday and Friday. So again, these are very nice conditions as we have here in Tallahassee. And also, I should mention, as we're looking into the end of the week, we are seeing that 70% chance of rain on Friday. So definitely keep that in mind if you have any plans for next week. But right now, this week, we have rain as well. 48 degrees and rain, as I said earlier. Just can't get enough of that rain. We really do love it right now. Wind coming from the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour. So definitely these conditions are feeling a little bit nippy. You might be feeling a little bit cool right now. But looking forward to this weekend, it might not be so bad because we have some sports going on. But it's still going to be a little bit chilly and rainy tomorrow. So seeing for women's soccer, tonight. So you're definitely going to be seeing these conditions into tonight. Trust me, I know sports. 49, 48, we're seeing 8 p.m. tonight. So definitely, as I said earlier, this rain is not going to let up. So if you are going to the soccer game tonight, make sure you bring your poncho, bring something to keep you warm and dry, because if you are sitting out in those conditions, it is just going to be a little bit cool and rainy. Future radar over Raleigh and Cary, you definitely are seeing a little bit of cloud cover there, just because, you know, this is associated with the system that we are seeing here in Tallahassee as well, and that rain just starts to build as you get into late Saturday. So again, make sure you are keeping that in mind if you're anywhere in the Raleigh area. Volleyball on Sunday, it's going to be a lot nicer because we are seeing that system make its way through and we warm back up just a little bit. Seasonable temperatures, nice in the 60s, definitely not 70s or 80s. This is my preferable temperature. I know some people like it a little bit warmer, but I will take it 60s and 63 and 62 for volleyball on Sunday. And this is in Atlanta, so a little bit closer to home. These clouds sort of making their way through Saturday, but before we get to Sunday, they do clear out, and we see that rain chance sort of just diminish. So that's the story of the weather in Atlanta. And finally, the headliner game, football on Saturday. I know we want to see our FSU team win a game, go back on that winning streak again, because it would be a great win for us if we were able to pull it out on Saturday. Seeing these temperatures are going to be fairly nice compared to right now. It's going to be in the 50s instead of the 40s, and we're not going to see so much rain. So again, very nice conditions for us here. And finally, our future radar just showing all this rain sort of making its way out of the region. By the time we get to the football game on tomorrow, it is going to be mostly gone. So again, very enjoyable conditions for our football game, and I'm sure we are very excited about it. But now I'm going to pass things off to Aaron.
And as we expand across the weekend, really it'll be a very split weekend across the Big Bend area of Florida. You can see very, very cloudy conditions across Doak Campbell Stadium. And this is why. We have a lot of moisture coming up out of the south, and that is due to that low pressure area off the Gulf of Mexico. And really, I mean, alluding to the temperatures, why it's so cold in the area, that's because of the blanket. Essentially, it's acting like it's not preventing any of the sun energy to come in and heat up the atmosphere like it normally would. So it is certainly very, very cold out there and chilly. And of course, with the rain, doesn't really make things much better out there. So certainly a jacket is needed. And if you're heading out to the Friday night block party out at College Town, you can see 50 degrees will be the nighttime low. Tonight, you can see it's very, very rain in forecast. So certainly very, very chilly night out there. If you are out there, you certainly need a poncho or an umbrella if you are venturing out to College Town. And of course, with a wind chill, likely because we'll have a wind out of the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour. For our dog walk forecast, you can see pretty much upper 40s for much of the evening. For much of the day tomorrow morning. You can see we're going to pretty much be staying in the upper 40s, which is pretty significant, at least for this time of year in Florida. Even in North Florida is certainly very, very cold for November for this time of year. And our Mule Day forecast, if you're heading out to Cairo in Georgia, you can see 43 degrees tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, so certainly need those umbrellas and those jackets once again. And the rain, of course, in the forecast, and we'll have winds out of the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour, of course, with that circulation around the low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico. And for our football day forecast, you can see tomorrow as we verse NC State here at home, you can see we'll still be very chilly. We'll be in the upper 40s to low 50s around kickoff, and you can see by the time we get to the game, you can see we will get into the 50s. Yeah, certainly need an umbrella again over there. And this is our future weather. You can pretty much see much of the cloud cover and the rain will push off as we get into the afternoon tomorrow. So certainly will be a very, very really dreary start for the first half, and of course that will change as we get into the second half of your day.
A dreary start through and through, that is for sure. Just a nice little weather recap for you all in case you weren't watching the entire time. Here we have a beautiful, chilly 52 degrees and rainy, just a little bit on Saturday. Clear skies for the most part on Sunday and Monday. That's a little bit warmer. So basically, we just have some pretty chilly nights all the way through. Like I was saying, we have these current temperatures in the Tallahassee area, 48 degrees, upper 40s, lower 50s all the way through the Tallahassee area. For our dew points, we're looking at a 45 here in Tallahassee, somewhat muggy, but not too terrible. Apalachicola by the coast, 50 dew point, a little bit worse. For tonight's forecast, we're looking at a 48 degrees, pretty chilly, similar temperatures all the way around. Like I was saying, just upper 40s, lower 50s if we're lucky. Satellite and radar, just a bunch of rain coming our way. And for the entire U.S., we're getting pretty much small cold fronts. We have this stationary front that we're seeing here in Tallahassee, but overall, not too bad, pretty chilly for the most part. Now, we'll pass it off to the closing desk with Hannah.
Thank you so much, Genevieve. We really just had a great Friday edition of our show tonight. We talked about a lot of different things that are happening throughout Tallahassee and throughout the rest of the country, for sure.
And right, I mean, really the biggest story, or even around the country, is certainly in the east part of the country, is really the chilly air. Even down into Florida, I mean, it's a pretty significant. We're talking like 50s and 40s during the day, in the afternoon. It's certainly a very, very interesting day.
Yes, along with those temperatures, we're seeing that rain throughout the day and those winds increasing throughout the day as well. It's very windy out there right now, so make sure you are dressed appropriately and being aware of the weather conditions outside.
And of course, and even though the temperature is in the upper 40s to low 50s, we certainly need to factor in that wind chill. So anyways, follow us on Twitter, or twitter.com/FSU weather. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU weather.
And right now, if you're watching us on YouTube with FSU Weather. And if you have any good pictures to send us, send them to our Instagram at FSU Weather. We're always looking for some new pictures of the sunsets.
Certainly, and really for tonight's weather, I think really bundle up out there. So
Yes.
have a great evening in Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Aaron Saray.
Thank you.